Assalamu alaikum kids, this is Ayaz again, and it's week 7, and I'm going to teach you grade 7 math, and it's the final lecture, lecture 5 of this week, and the topic is the same, factorization of quadratic expression. You can find this topic in your book 2 on page 105. As usual, I used to do some recaps, and here it is, the factorization. So now I hope you'll be familiar with this. Factorization means breaking up of an algebraic expression into two or more algebraic expression as a product. The sign between the these one or more two or more algebraic expression must be multiplication. And you guys now also know that factorization is basically a reverse process of expansion. In expansion, you expand the algebraic expressions and simplify it and get the answer. And in factorization, do the reverse process. That you have an algebraic expression, you break that one, you split that one into two or more factors such that the sign between these factors is multiplication. And the recap of the concerned topic, the factorization of quadratic expression, is first of all, now I hope you are familiar with what is the quadratic expression. That is ax squared plus bx plus c, and that is the kind of called as general form of a quadratic expression. And as I told you before, in a quadratic expression, the degree of the expression, the highest power of the variable must be 2, and a, b, c are any numbers. The only condition is on a that it can't be 0. By making a as 0, you guys know this one, this whole first term ax squared is going to be vanished, and remained is bx plus c, which is no more quadratic. So and ABC, AB are the coefficients of the variable x, and C is the constant. Okay, so how to factorize this quadratic expression is that we are going to first multiply the coefficient of x squared A with the constant C, and we'll get the product AC, and then we are going to look for two numbers such that the first condition is when we add these two numbers, we should get the coefficient b of x, and when we multiply the same two numbers, we should get the product AC. That is kind of recap, and we've done some examples in the previous lectures now. And in this lecture, basically, I took another question from your exercise 3b. This is question 3 part D. You can find that question on page 111. And the question is in front of you right now. 5d squared minus 145d plus 600. And they are just making up your life a little bit difficult with each question now, putting bigger and bigger numbers. So don't be worried about this one. There is going to be tricks we're going to apply here. So if the very first step used to be that I multiply the coefficient of the variable d squared with the constant c, which is plus 600. Again, I just wanna don't be confused with these kind of things. The variable here now is d, so don't worry about that one. It could be any alphabet. So the variable is d in this expression. So multiplying 5 with 600, what you will get is 3000. 3 with 3 zeros, right? So by now finding the factors of 3000, it's going to be pretty hectic now. So when you see these kind of questions with bigger numbers, basically there is a few tricks hidden there. So rather than jumping blindly on this question, multiplying 5 with 600 and then start killing yourself by finding all the possible factors or probable factors and then finding the pair which we are looking for. So it's going to be a good idea when you have a question in front of you, try to see if there is any common number which is present in all these three terms. I think I gave you the idea. So yes, there is a number common in all these three terms. In other words, I would suggest that try to take the maximum biggest number which is present in all these three terms. Yes, 5 is present in the first term. Okay. In the second term, 145. Yes, 145 is also divisible by 5. Means 5 is also present in the second term. And definitely 5 is also present in the third term, because 600 is divisible by 5. Yes. So 5 is common. 5 is the biggest number you can take as common. So see here. So I took 5 common outside. So you could see what remains inside is d squared. When 5 goes out, what remains here is 29 in the second term. Yes, 5 2s are 10, 5 9s are 45. And when 600 is divided by 5, what left is 120. See, things are becoming a little easier now. So now our task, in other words, our quadratic equation in a little bit simplified form is d squared minus 29d plus 120. And in this case, our a and c, the coefficient of d square is 1 and c is plus 120. Okay, here. So AC is 120. Now what we are going to look for the factors of 120, not 3000. Remember, it will be much easier for us to solve it now. Here, some of the factors of 120 are in front of you now. So we're going to rule out the ones which has nothing to do with our two conditions. As you can see, if I take the second one, 6 and 20, by adding 6 and 20, it gives me 26. But what we're looking for is minus 29. Remember, our B is minus 29. So it goes out. Third pair, 8 and 15. When you add 8 and 15, you get 23. When you subtract from 8 from 15, you get 7. So it also goes out. The third one, 10 and 12, you add them, 10 and 12, you get 22. Or you subtract them, you get 2 or minus 2. So the other three pairs goes out. The first one, 5 plus 24 is 29. Yes, we can play with its signs and we might mold it to the one what we are looking for. Here it is. If I take 5 and 24 both as a negative, so minus 5 into minus 24 will give you 120. Yes, we need 120. When we add them, minus 5 and minus 24, we will get minus 29. Yes, so our required pair is going to be minus 25, minus 24 and minus 5. Let's solve it now. So it's in front of you, the original expression is there, then I put the equal sign and 5. Now remember, 5 is going to be carried out till the end of the question because it's there, it's being multiplied. So when we will factorize this quadratic expression, d squared minus 29d plus 120, so the answer of this quadratic expression is going to be multiplied with the 5. So you will see this time we're going to have not two factors of this quadratic equation expression, to have this, see, three factors. Let's see here. The first step, you could see I just split it up the middle term, minus 29 as minus 5 minus 24, or minus 24 minus 5. So in the third step, basically now I intentionally basically skipped the red ones that I used to give you. As told you, in actual practice you're not going to do that one. You're not supposed to be done like that one. So now we are pretty good with this topic now. So you see here in the first two terms, I can visualize that d is present in both the terms. D is there in d square, and of course d is there in 5d. So I took d common, but remains inside is d minus 5. In third and fourth term, I can see that 24 is common. Yes, 24 is present in the minus 24d term, and 24 is also present in 120, because if you divide 120 with 24, is exactly divisible, so we get 5. So minus 24 is common. I took minus 24, minus common outside, so the sign between third and fourth term, which is plus, becomes minus. So what remains inside is d minus 5. So on the right side, same way, in the first two terms d is common. What left inside is d minus 24, and third and fourth term, you see 5 is common now, because 5 is present in the fourth term also, because if you divide 120 with 5, it is going to divide exactly. So minus 5 is out, so what remains inside is d minus 24. Okay, and you see 5 is crawling with us in all the steps, is going to be there, so don't miss that one. And I put intentionally the square bracket also. So you remember the bracket means the 5 is multiplied whatever is inside. And here is kind of a final step. So d minus 5 is common on the left side. Right now I'm on the left side. So what remains inside is d minus 24. On the right side you could see d minus 24 is common. So what remains inside is d minus 5. So just removing the brackets it looks nicer. I just took it out, that square bracket. There's no need for that one, because all the three factors are being multiplied. You see the sign between 5 and d minus 5 is multiplication, and the sign between d minus 5 and d minus 24 is multiplication. Remember the factorization? For the factorization, the factors must be multiplied. There shouldn't be any plus or minus sign. So the factorization of this quadratic expression comes out to be 3 factors, right? So let's take another question from your exercise 3b. This is question 3 part F on page 111. It's in front of you. Okay, again, by multiplying 24 with a 9, it might give you a little bit bigger number, and it will be harder to solve it, but it could be done. Of course, 100% you could do it, but why should we waste our energy? So now from onward, when you see an algebraic quadratic expression in front of you, the first thing it should strike your mind, that is there anything common which can I take it out and put it aside, and then start solving my question. So yes, I can see, yes, here 3 is common in all these 3 terms, isn't it? 3 is present in the first term, 3 is present in the second term, 3 is present in the third term. So I took 3 as common. So what remains inside is 8h squared minus 5h minus 3. So let's solve this one now. So the first step is the product AC. So now our variable in this expression is h, and the coefficient of h square is a, and here is, that is 8, and the C is minus 3. So AC is minus 24. So here are the some of the factors of 24. I took it, and you could see by keeping in view that what we are looking for, our B is minus 5, the middle term. B is minus 5. So which one is going to be a good fit? Definitely the middle one, 3 and 8, because 2 plus 12 is 14, but we are looking for minus 5. Or 12 minus 2 is 10, so it goes out. Third pair, 4 plus 6 is 10, or 4 minus 6 or 6 minus 4 is basically minus 2 or plus 2. So the good fit for us is basically the middle one, 3 and 8. And let's play with these signs. So minus 24 can be written as 3 into minus 8. It gives me minus 24. And 3 minus 8 is basically minus 5. When you keep on practicing these questions, so you don't have to do all those scrap things which I just trying to show you, that it comes to your mind by taking signs negative with this one or this one, then finally you come up with the actual or required one. So you might have jumped straight away on if you're smart enough, and you are. So basically the C, 3 minus 8 gives me minus 5, but remember, if I take minus 3 plus 8, it will give me plus 5. So that's not required. We need minus 5. So our required pair is 3 and minus 8. So let's solve it. It's in front of you. So in this case here, 3 is going to kept on crawling with us. So we are going to factorize it. And here it is. Now I'm not going to do things side by side, which is not required. You could write minus 5h, middle term, as 3h minus 8h. Remember? Or minus 8h plus 3h. Either way you will come up with the same answer. So here I took the common things, the first two terms. H is common. You see, only h is present in both the terms. I took it out. What remains inside is 8h plus 3. In the third and fourth term, there is basically nothing common there as such, except 1. I told you 1 is always present, so you can take 1 as common. So minus 1, I took it out. So what remains inside is, you could see, 8h plus 3. And here the final answer. So in both the terms, 8h plus 3 is common now. So what remains inside is h minus 1. And just remove that square bracket. You don't need anymore. So what we have, the answer is in front of you. So again, this quadratic algebraic expression ends up with the 3 factors. And all these 3 factors are being multiplied. So remember, 3 is also a factor now. And here is your 5th assignment and the final one. Here it is. Go for question 3 of exercise 3b, these parts C, E and G. And hint here is, for each of these parts, the very first step is go for any common number which is present in all the 3 terms. First take the common and then start factorizing it. Otherwise you're going to spend a lot of time to solve these questions, and it might not be even able to solve it. So first thing, look for the common thing. Common means present in all the 3 terms. Then start looking for the factors and the most wanted pair. And okay, champs, I hope you had comprehended this topic up to some extent, and by putting some more practice, basically you will become pretty good with this one. And I'm going to have small you guys to see where you stand, and the test is in front of you. Just take a piece of paper, write it down these three parts, and have fun, solve it, and I'm going to wait for your responses. And before I say goodbye to you guys, here is my email address. You could see on the screen. Write it down. Basically, why I'm giving you this email address is because the kids are kept on saying how we can send you these homeworks or the queries or these responses. So either way, you can upload it on your AppSec system, or you can email to me your these files, images, whatever you have, attach those one. But remember, you gotta first create your own email address, email account. I think it will be pretty easier. Go to your Google or whatever you want to have it, Gmail. So there's going to be option for sign up things. I think sign up, and then it just takes you step by step. Enter your name, father name, and all kind of stuff, and then you have to choose an email address, whatever you want. And remember, when you take any email address that you will choose a name, it might not give you that one because that name might have been taken by somebody else, so it's not available. So you can then you keep on changing your email address. It might suggest you also that you can take this. So it's not going to be for example, you want to have some kind of funny or some kind of lucky email name, so it might not be available. So you can have any other email name, and once you're done with all this process, it means now you have the email account. So first you have to create an email account, then definitely you are going to be able to send me the mails. So I will wait for your responses. So that's it for today. Goodbye, take care, thank you.